Every single day, we do a daily onboarding call showing you exactly how to get started and how to actually use XLeads, the ultimate wholesaling real estate software. And what I want to do today is show you the ultimate getting started guide and onboarding training for XLeads version 5. So if you're ready to get started and learning how to use XLeads step by step, this is going to be an awesome 2+ hour training on how you can use the ultimate wholesaling real estate software, XLeads. So let's have the XLeads onboarding team get into it and start getting deals.
Welcome to the XLeads V5 onboarding video. We are excited to help you get started with our platform. In this video, we'll cover the V5 ecosystem, what's included in your plan, and the exclusive features available to X-Plan users. Our unified ecosystem combines the XLeads software, the pump deal finding method, and the real estate deal school community into one central location. All users receive training, coaching, and access to powerful tools. Please ensure you access school using the same email associated with your XLeads account. X-Plan users get exclusive access to the pump stacker and advanced workflows, while new V5 features include list stacking, pipelines, and AI-ranked leads. I'm your host, Echo. I'm joined by our customer success manager, Luis, and our GHL expert, Jen. We'll be your XLeads guides today. To get started, look for 2 emails, one for your login and another for your leads token. If you miss one, use the Forgot Password feature or contact support. Please follow along with our onboarding PDF, which you can find linked in the comments. Today we'll guide you through the platform and answer your question. Our session will include a walkthrough for beginners and intermediates, followed by a Q&A. Please post any questions in the comments. Here is an overview of what we will learn during this video. We will cover pulling lists using disposition tools, SkyDrive AI, importing and exporting data, and spam-proofing your cold calling dial. When pulling lists and comps, remember that Pro and X plans include additional access to specific filters and extra lists. To use the dial, first navigate to your settings to purchase a phone number for just $1.50 per month. Once your number is set up, ensure you configure the settings to forward all incoming calls to your preferred line. Next, use the automation features to tag your contacts so they are ready for the auto dial. To start using the power dial, simply navigate to your Conversations tab after applying the appropriate tag. It is also crucial to take steps to spam-proof your phone numbers to ensure your calls connect reliably. Now, let's discuss how to initiate a text blast from the platform. To begin a text blast, start by tagging your properties as either an SMS blast or a triple tap. Alternatively, you can reach out to sellers directly through the CRM portion of our software. The XLeads CRM includes several powerful automations designed to streamline your workflow. Key automations include the no-answer text, the triple tap system, deal board follow-ups, and the ability to send joint venture agreements.
All right, thank you very much. Luis, you can take it from here.
All right, thank you. Let me go ahead and share my screen. Okay. All right, so again, everyone, good morning. My name is Luis, and I'll be demonstrating how to get started with XLeads by showing you how to pull leads from the Leads tab and different ways of importing them to the contact section. I will also introduce to you some of the features that is available on the Leads and Dispo as well. Okay, but basically, if it is your first time to log in or to navigate into your Leads tab, it will initially ask you to log in using your email address and password, right? However, since I have already logged in before to my Leads tab, um, it logged me in, automatically when I navigated to it. But basically, again, as I was saying, you just have to log in here on the Leads tab once, and you do not have to do it again. But basically, by default, Leads tab is gonna be on dark mode. Okay, so this is how it looks like when it is in dark mode, and if you just need to switch it into light mode, you will find that there is a button here. It's a menu button, and you'll find that there is a moon icon that you can click and click on the light mode or light, and then it will switch into this interface. All right. Also on the leads tab, the first thing that you will notice is the search bar. And inside the search bar, it says, where would you like to invest? And here we can use city, county, state, and zip code to find properties in a specific area. Also, there is an option to import your leads. If you have your own leads, like government list, you can actually import it, and XLeads will do its best to find matching properties from the list and skip trace the properties for you. Okay. Also, there is a section to manage your account, or sometimes it would say complete your setup. Now, I just like to let you know that when you signed up with XLeads, you will be provided by different numbers of credits and type of credits as well that you can use to redeem your sellability score and SkyDrive AI. Okay. But if in any case that you haven't redeemed anything yet, you just have to click on, for example, manage AI territory to redeem your sellability score. This window will open and it will be redirected, or you will be redirected to the redeem credits tab. You will also see your available credits here. Unfortunately, I do not have one anymore, but if you still have an available credit, you'll be able to select the zip code or county that you would like to redeem, again, depending on the plan that you have with us. Also, there is a section to subscribed territories. Now, under the subscribed territories, this is where you can see those, areas that you have redeemed before. And as you can see here, I used to have a credit for a county and I used it to redeem Harris County, Texas. All right. Um, yeah, so it's the same interface when you go to manage AI territory. And if you find, sellability score data and SkyDrive AI distress score data is useful to your wholesaling business, you can actually choose to expand your coverage from nationwide to state. They have one-time fees here, as you can see, but when you subscribe to it, um, the feature will be available for the lifetime of your account. All right. Also, we have what we call a Deal Ninja AI. Now, this Deal Ninja AI is available here, and you can also find a button of Deal Ninja AI on the top right as well. But basically, this is your AI companion wherein you can type, a property here, and Deal Ninja AI can pull the property for you. Okay, either whether it is properties of, under a certain lead types or areas, or a single property. Now, underneath that, there is your searches. Oh, by the way, Deal Ninja AI is currently available with Pro and X Plan at the moment. And underneath that, your searches, where you can see your recent searches, your quick searches, and your saved filters as well. Okay. Now let's start searching for properties. Again, if you can observe, when I typed, for example, Harris County, it was showing different options already. Okay. Now from here, I have two options for Harris County. I just needed to select the correct one. So for example, in my case, it's Harris County, Texas. When I clicked on it, XLeads will show me how many properties it can find right away. And since it is showing 1.3 million properties, the next thing that I may need to do, is to narrow down my search results with my preferred lead types and the characteristics of the properties. Now, to do that, we just have to click on filters. Okay. And when you click on filters, you will see the different sections of the filters and data that you can use to narrow down your search results. And these are also shortcuts. So for example, if you want to go directly to your lead types, you can click on the lead types and you will be redirected to the lead type section. Now, you would also notice that I have the exclude button here. But please take note that right now exclude is currently available with Pro and X plan at the moment. But if you have already subscribed to the basic plan, don't worry because you'll still have the include functionality plus 10 different lead types here, including cash buyers, pre-foreclosures, and vacancy. Right? And there's also a section to filter the sellability scores. Again, sellability score will give you information or data um, of how likely that the owner will let go or sell their properties based on the retail AI score, rental AI score, and wholesale AI score. And it is being scored from 0 to 1,000. And the higher the score is, the higher the propensity or the likelihood of the landlord or of the owner selling their properties. And also, there is a filter here to set the minimum and maximum sellability score that you'd only like to pull. There is also deal marketplace. Now, under deal marketplace, these are the number of properties that are being advertised by other wholesalers within XLeads platform. Okay, and they are using this feature of XLeads to also find investors inside the XLeads platform as well. And later I'll show you an example of a property that has been highlighted. Also, there is a section for valuations under filters to filter the market value of the property. There is also features as well. And if you're looking to also include the residential land properties, this is where you can find it. So you would just have to go to features, go to property types, and when you click on the drop down button, you'll be able to also include mobile and land or residential land properties. Okay. Also, there is owners as well. And these are the data that you can use to filter your search results in terms of ownership information. But I'd like to let you know as well that there is that the messy title and dirty deeds are currently available with Pro and X plan as well. But basically, what messy title do is it will filter the or it will filter the early signal of a deceased owner. And there is also dirty deeds as well. And it is often a signal of family transfer, gifts, or title cleanup that can indicate motivated sellers. All right. And there's also a section to filter the mortgage information, listings, previous sales, foreclosures, and liens. Okay. And under liens, this is where you can find the deceased probate. Okay. And then again, if you're looking for the disease probate filter, this is where you can find it, and this should be available for all types of subscriptions. Okay. Now, underneath that, there is your save filters. If you have multiple filters or multiple filters that you will be using all the time, I'd recommend saving it by clicking on the save filters. And then you can also enable the deal alerts so that you can be notified via email when there are new properties or matching properties found on one of your saved filters. And on the right side, there is your active filters, showing all the filters that are selected on the main filter section. So, for example, if we're gonna click or add another filter here, let's say absentee owner, and if you may have noticed that it loaded for a bit, it added another lead types here, absentee owner, and the results, went down to $269 or 269,000 properties rather, from 1.3 million properties. Okay. Now, if we're going to add another filter here, for example, We'll also be looking for the properties with a wholesale AI score of minimum of 550 or 600. You will see that it narrowed down the search results further to 5,000. Okay. Now, after selecting all the filters to narrow down your search results, you can click on See Results. And then you'll be back on this page. And then again, just a side note, this is an example of a property that has been, let's say, advertised by other wholesalers within the XLeads platform. I'm mentioning advertised because this marketplace deal, this is also a paid feature of XLeads or of the XLeads platform. But anyway, once we are back on this page, you will see the properties here as well. And you will notice that it is only displaying 25 or 5,000 properties. Okay. Now, our next step is to add these properties into a list. Okay. Now, your list is located on the top right portion of your leads page. So for example, if I click on the list on this red button here on the top right, I will be able to see the list that I've previously created. So I have a couple of them already. Okay. Now, if you would like to create a segment or a group for this list that you will be exporting, you can actually do so by clicking on again on the list again, and there is an option create new list. So when you click on it, it will ask you to create a name for the list. For example, this is absentee owner, and then you just have to click on create list, and then you have added another list. Okay. Now, properties will not be added automatically. What you can do next after creating a list is to add the properties on it by clicking on the select button. So when you click on this select button on the top left, you'll have two options. You can add the page or the properties on the page that you are currently viewing, or you can select all properties. Now, for demonstration purposes, allow me to just select the page and to add 25 properties on the list. And right now, you can see on my absentee owner list, I have 25 properties now. And when I click on it, it will show me the properties that I have added. Okay. And also, you will notice that I have the export options here. Now, these export options, let me just disconnect this first. Okay. There you go. Now, these export options will allow you to pull the skip trace data for the properties that you have selected. Now, the difference between the two is that this export button will allow you to download the list directly into your computer. And it will also allow you to manually import the list to your contacts tab. Okay. But although you are doing it manually, this export button will actually give you options of what type of data that you would like to include on your search results. Okay, so for example, aside from lead trace and valuations, you can also include your property details by selecting it, loan information, transactions, and all of these available data here. And then you can click on export and it will download a list directly into your computer. Okay. Now, allow me to send you a guide on how to use it. One moment. All right, so it's going to be on the chat. All right. Okay. Now, meanwhile, the other export option, which is export to contacts tab, it will skip most of the manual process. However, as of now, it will only export um, the owner of the property or the primary contact person for the property, the primary phone number, the primary email address, and the property address. Okay, and we cannot choose the types of data that we can export directly into the context tab. All right, and it will require a little bit of a initial setup as well. Okay, and that is what I will be showing you today. Now, when we click on Export to Context tab for the first time, it will initially ask us to connect your lead section to your Ninja CRM by clicking on Connect Ninja CRM. And when you click on it, um, it will open another tab. Okay. So again, please note that it will open another tab. Now, all you need to do here is to click on Login. So let's try to click on Login. And you just have to wait for it to load. Sometimes it will take you directly to your Ninja CRM, and sometimes it will still ask you to enter your email address and password for the Ninja CRM. Now, again, once you logged in here, also please remember to go back to the Lead Connector tab. Okay, so when you go back into it, oops, okay, what happened? One moment. Let me try it again. Okay. All right, one moment. Okay, so I'm just getting this particular error. I'm not sure why. Okay. I'm supposed to approve some permissions here. But let me try to do it on a different tab. One moment, please. Okay. Let me close this one out. Let me log in back. Let me log in again. Okay. There you go. Okay. Let me try it on this tab. Okay. All right. I think this will do it. Let's try it again. Okay. So export to context tab, connecting to CRM, and let's see what will happen now. Okay. Oh yeah. Okay. So yeah, I'm just going to investigate what's going on here. But then again, the reason why we are logging in here is because for us to be able to um approve some permissions that will be asked by the leads tab that you have to approve. Okay. So that you will be able to connect your Ninja CRM completely to your leads tab. Okay. But basically, after approving all the permissions. Let me just try it one more time. Let's see what will happen. Yeah, it's not going through. But basically, after importing the leads or exporting the leads using um, export to contacts tab, again, as I said a while ago, it will skip all the manual process and it will export the data or the skip trace data directly into your contacts. Okay. Now, after submitting the export here or finalizing the export here, you will eventually see the exported list into your contacts tab. And it's going to look like this. So for example, here, yeah, it's going to look like this. So once the lead has been exported, you will see that they will have the tag that you've added using the export to contacts tab. And there will be a tag that will automatically be assigned to them, lead pipes dash export. Okay. Now, another thing that I would like to let you know that when you use export to contacts tab, the leads will be enabled rather for DND. So when you go to one of the lead and when you go to DND, those contacts will be enabled like this, and yeah, for DND, and it will look like this, DND for all channels. Okay, and DND, it stands for do not disturb. All right. And the reason why the contacts are being enabled for DND automatically is because we also have to opt them in. Okay. So one thing that we can do to disable the DND for the customer is then again go to the contacts and uncheck the disable DND for all channels. Okay. But I do understand that it's gonna take a lot of time and a lot of effort if we have, like hundreds or thousands of contacts that we need to disable the DND for, right? Now, again, what we can do, what we can do is to create a simple workflow um, to disable the DND for multiple contacts or in bulk. Okay. And for that automation or workflow, you would need to do it from your end or create it from your end. But what I can do also for you today is to show you how to create that automation. All right. Now let's start by going into the automation tab. And here under automation, there is your create workflow. So we just have to click on it, click on start from scratch, and then you will be redirected into the workflow builder. All right. And the first thing that you would need to do here is to create a name for the workflow properly. So for example, this is for disabling DND for multiple contacts. We can just name it as simple as disable DND. And then there is also, after that, you can click on add new trigger. And you will also notice that when we click on add new trigger, it will open another window on the right side. And from here, you just have to search for contact and then choose contact created. Okay. And then just save the trigger. And after creating the trigger, click on the plus sign to select an action. Again, when I click on the plus sign, another window will open on the right side. And from here, just search for DND and select enable disable DND. Action name can be disable DND, as simple as that. But the DND direction, although it defaults to outbound, we just need to make sure. We still have to double check and make sure that it is set to outbound. Okay. DND, on the other hand, just click on the drop down button, select disable DND for all channels. Okay. All right. Now, after selecting these options, click on Save Actions. And there you go. This is your workflow right here. Now, all you need to do next is to make sure that it's published by clicking on Draft Publish button here and then save it. And that is your workflow right here. Now, uh, just to clarify that this workflow, or you would only need to create this workflow once. Okay. Since our trigger is contact created, after creating the workflow, every time that we will be exporting new leads to our contacts tab, this workflow will be triggered and disable the DND for those new leads. Okay. But for any instance that you have already exported some leads before creating this workflow, you would have to manually assign the workflow to those leads that you've initially exported. Okay. Now, to show you how to assign a lead or a workflow rather, if we go back to the contacts, we can actually select multiple contacts from here. So for example, we can click on this checkbox before the contact name. You can click on select all, and then there is an option to assign the workflow by clicking on trigger automation, this one here. When you click on it, you can create an action name. This can be anything as well, but the workflow should be the one that you've created. So it should be disable DND on my end, and then I can click on add to automation, and the workflow will be assigned to the selected contacts and will eventually disable the DND for um, for them. Okay. So for example, um, let me check the progress first. So you see that the workflow operation is now complete. And it's always a good practice that even though you see that it's completed, it's always a good practice to still check just a couple of the leads to make sure that they are indeed disabled for DND. So it should look like this. Okay. Now let's check another one. Um, okay. Kathy Ahmed or Amjad. There we go. So DND is now disabled, and that means that we will be able to reach out to them or to contact them. Okay. There you go. Now another feature that I would also like to show to you is the SkyDrive AI. Now, when you go to the list, aside from these export options, you'll have SkyDrive AI. Now, SkyDrive AI, it will analyze multiple properties at once using AI-powered satellite imagery analysis to assess property conditions and identify investment opportunities. All right. Now, in short, SkyDrive AI will assess the physical distress of the properties, and that it can be your alternative for driving for dollars. Okay. Now, just to let you know again, SkyDrive AI will only scan for the properties within your SkyDrive AI coverage that you redeemed, you know, using your credit. All right. So, for example, I have absentee owner within Harris County. I can select the list here, and I can click on Start Scan. And once the properties are loaded, you can click on Launch Scan, and SkyDrive AI will start scanning the properties one by one, just like this. Okay. And once the properties has been scanned, this will show to you right away the distress score of the properties and the distress level. So basically, the higher the distress score is, um, the more opportunity that this, um, property can be sold to you. Now, you can click on the property as well if you need to, and it will show you cover photo of the property and the satellite view as well. And these images can also be expanded by just clicking on them. So when you click on the cover photo, for example, there you go. Okay, satellite view, there you go. And then there is a distress score, distress level. What's going on here? Okay, all right, distress level, and then the AI assessment. And then under AI assessment, it will give you more data about the property as well. Okay. Now, once the um, SkyDrive AI completes the scanning or has scanned all the properties, you'll have the option to select the property. So, for example, if we're just going to be selecting properties with moderate distress level, just like this, I can add the selected properties to a list by clicking on add to list. Okay, so let's add some more moderate level. Okay, I think that's about it. Now again, after selecting the properties, you can click add to list and it will allow you to create a new list. So you just have to click create and add 5 properties here, for example. Um, all right, there you go. And you will notice that the list has been already has been created as well. Okay, with the properties that you've selected with the SkyDrive AI. And again, once the properties are in the list, you will have the option to export them using either export the export button or export to context tab. Okay. Now, that's for the SkyDrive AI. Now, another feature that you may be using all the time as well is the import file. Again, if you are getting your leads from for example, government list, you can import the government list by clicking on the import file, and this would allow you to choose the file that you would need to upload. Okay. For example, if you choose the file here, it will open the file window. And from here, again, we can choose the file that we can upload. For example, I will be uploading my California property. So I can just select it from here. I can open it. And even if you only have the street address on the list, you can still upload it. Okay. Now, for example, this list only has the street address, as you can see on the preview. From here, I can just click next. And then since I only provide the street address, I would need to supply additional information about the address. So if you do not have any other column on your list that you've uploaded, you can use one default location or select one default location. And when you select it, it will allow you to select a city, zip code, or county. And this time I'm just going to indicate a zip code. There you go. All right. Now you see that there is another preview here. And your next step is to click on the next button. And then this is optional. You can also assign a tag to the list um, that you've uploaded, okay, or imported. Now, one advantage of adding tag to the list is that you can later on use it or use the tag to stack your uploaded lists, okay, with other lists that you've uploaded. All right. Um, I'll probably show it to you later, but this time I'm going to skip adding tag to them. I'll just click on import. And then once you click on import, XLeads system will scan through the list that you've uploaded and do its best to find matching properties. So you see on the summary, there are 3 match properties. However, there is one that did not match. Okay. Now, the reason why I have one unmatched property here is because one of them is not located in the um in the 90021 area or zip code. Okay. But even though you have some unmatched properties during the import, you can still work with the matched properties. And what you can do is that you can create a new list for them. For example, this uploading street only. I can click on new list. Let me just select put two, create a new list, and then you will see that I have a new list here added with the properties that I've uploaded. Okay. Then again, export options are here that I can click, to export the skip trace data for these properties. All right. Okay. So yeah, let me just quickly show to you how it looks like if we're going to import a list with complete property details. So from here, I can click on open, and on the preview, as you can see, there are 4 columns for the street address, city, state, and zip code. I can click on the next button here. And then since I have all the necessary information for the properties, I can just click on the next button. And then I'll skip adding tag to them and then click on import. And then there you go. It will eventually show you the summary and you can create another list once again. All right. So there you go. So that's how we can, use or simply use the import file feature here. All right. Now, another feature that I would also like to show to you is the tags. Okay. And again, as I mentioned, you know, adding a tag to your imported list can be used to stack your lists. What I mean by that, when we go to filter or filters, there is an option here to select your tags, my tags. Okay. So previously I've added tags to those lists already. So if I'm going to pick those tags, for example, my uploaded list for California, and then my uploaded list from Texas, Harris County. So you see that there are 4 totals on each of them. And this on the see results, it shows 8 properties as well. Now, if we're gonna click on show see results, you will see the properties that are being stacked from California or from Texas, Harris County, and then from California. Okay, so that's how we can use the tag as well. Again, tag can be assigned on your imported list, and it should be available for all subscriptions as well. Okay. All right, so yeah, next feature that I would also like to show to you is the dispo features that is available currently with our X Plan members. But to use the buyer match AI, we have to view one of the properties. So for example, if we're gonna be viewing this property, if we have the X Plan, you'll have the option to go to the buyer match AI tab. And when we click on the buyer match AI, this will show us the investors that would more likely invest into this property. Okay, and they will be ranked by the most compatible one to the least ones. Okay, just like this. And then from here you can add the investors to your investors list. So for example, if I'm gonna create a new investor list here, I'll just name it Buyer Match AI. So I just created a new investor list. Now I can select the investor that I would like to add to my investor list. Oops, okay, I keep missing that. Let me click on it again. All right, so I'm just gonna select a couple of them for demonstration purposes, but you should have an option to select all by clicking on this select all button here. Okay, I'm just selecting a few of them so that we can easily export them. Now again, after selecting the investors here, click on add to list, and you will see on the buyer match AI list, I have 10 investors now. But then again, I think the question is that where can we find this investors list? To go to your investors list, we have to navigate into the Dispo tab. So when we click on the Dispo tab, the interface looks similar to the Leads tab, but on the search bar, it would say, where would you like to find investors? Okay. Now from here, on the top right side of the page, there is your investors list. And when you click on it, if there are investors added on the list already, you'll have the option to export them. And I'll show you how to export and import them later. But as you can notice as well, we have a search bar here. You can also search for investors in a specific city, county, state, or zip code. So for example, if I'm going to type Houston County, Texas, XLeads will show to me like how many investors it can find in the area that I've selected. And there is also a filters button. Okay. Now, when we click on filters, it will allow you to switch from lender to flipper, note holder to private lender. And if we scroll down further, you will see the other data that we can use to niche down or to narrow down our search results. Okay. Now, again, after selecting the investors, you can add them to the investors list by clicking on the select button as well, just like with leads tab. Okay, so we can either select page or select all. All right. And after you've added the investor on your list, again, you'll have the export options. When you click on it, this time it will download a list directly to my computer. Okay. Then again, one moment. Okay. I zip sketch. Zip is only in zip code. Okay, yeah. Later I'll answer that. But basically, again, here, export investors to CSV. Always make sure to select include contact information. You click on export, and then it should download a list to my computer. Okay, there you go. Okay. Now, when we download a list to our computer, it will always be downloaded as a zip file. All right, let me just delete the other ones to avoid confusion. Okay, so it will always be downloaded as a zip file, especially if we're using um, Google Chrome. Okay, and since it is downloaded to our computer, then we would have to manually import it to the contacts tab. However, this is zip file. This is on zip file right now. We have to unzip it first by double clicking on the list, and it will unzip the file for you. That is if we are using a, let's say, an Apple computer or a MacBook. Now, if we are using a Windows computer, another or the steps in unzipping the file is just different, okay? But it's still easy. So let me show you an example image. Okay. All right. So okay, so here, again, if we are using a Windows computer, and if we and we downloaded any zip file, okay, not only from XLeads, all we need to do is to find that file, right click on that zip file, and then click on extract all. All right, and then another window will open with extract button. Just click on that extract button, and the Windows system will unzip the file for you. Okay. Now, once the file is unzipped and we have it on a .csv format, just like this, we can then go ahead and go to contacts, and then we can perform a manual import for the investors. So to do that, we can just click on the import button here and make sure to select Start CSV Import, and then you will be redirected to 4 steps of the import process. Now, step 1, we do not have to select anything else here. Just click Next. And then step 2, this is where we can upload the list. So you just have to click on Upload, select the file that you've extracted and exported from the Leads tab, click the Next button, and then we would have to map the data from the columns that we've downloaded or exported to the fields in our CRM. Now, for investors, we will be mapping full name, and it will be automatically mapped to name. Okay. And the next group of data that we need to map are the contact information. So for the contact information, we just have to look for contact one, phone one. So contact one, phone one, we should map it to phone. And then contact one, email one, this one here, we should map it to email. And then there is contact one, phone two to additional phones. And then contact one, email two, this one here, to additional emails. And those are actually the only data that we need to map when importing the investors manually. All right. Now, again, in order for us to continue, since the next button is grayed out or disabled, we have to we have to check this box, and then the next button will be enabled. Okay. So, by the way, by checking this box, we are just confirming that we do not need to map the rest of the columns. Okay. So just click next. And then from here, we can create a smart list. So if we would like to separate this list from, let's say, from our sellers or from other types of investors, we can actually click here before the create a smart list uh, phrase, and then we can then create a smart list or customize the smart list. So for example, I can type here buyer match AI, and then for now I'll skip adding them to workflow or adding tags to them. But for me to be able to finalize this import process, I would need to click on this checkbox. All right, to opt in the investors that I've imported, and then you will notice that the start import is now activated. Now, when I click on start import, that finalizes the import process for the investors. And when I go to contacts now, you will see that there are 2 of them already. Apparently, I have an existing smart list, but yeah, it added another smart list. Okay. However, you will notice that there isn't any contacts here yet. That is because when we go to bulk actions, the import is still processing at 0%. Okay. So it may take a few minutes to complete actually. All right. And then again, that's how we pull investors from the dispo and then manually importing those lists or the list to our contacts tab. Okay. Now, to continue the discussion about the CRM side of XLeads, I will be giving the session back to my friend Echo. Hey, bro.
Oh yeah.
All right, there you go. So let me stop sharing. Okay, take it away, bro.
All right, let me go ahead and share my screen. Let's just get the right one. All right, quick reminder. I will be stopping at exactly 1. We do have another session with the Red School in which we can continue our discussion there. And let me get the right screen. I think I'm sharing the right one. All right, I think it's
Yes, you
sharing.
are.
Perfect. Thank you. All right, so you are currently seeing my dashboard right now. It's the version 5 dashboard. So currently, if you don't have this dashboard or you're not seeing this one on your end, you can update your dashboard. Okay, so just go to new. Okay, it's right here. Click this one. Okay, it's taking its time. It is taking its time. Let's try it again. I'm going to click new. Or for some reason, it's not working. All right, I think it hanged. Apologies. Let me go ahead and get this sorted out. All right, let's try that again. Okay, there you go. I think it's in my connection. Right, so going back on how to update your dashboard, just click the new button here, and then from template library, and then select the version 6 dashboard. Just click choose. It will auto update. And the next step is to set it as your default dashboard, and then you're good to go. Yeah. So the default dashboard, if you want to set this one as your default, click the 3 dots and then set as default dashboard. Then there you go. All right. The video on the dashboard is actually very, very informative. It's although it's 3 hours. If you have some time in your hands, please do take a look at it. And like I said, it's very, very helpful. All right. The other videos that you may find interesting can be found inside of your training and support section. So from getting started to your XLeads AI agents to text blasting, email blasting, to your cold calling, your CRM, your automations, your e-signing, they can be found here. However, please be advised that the interface may be a bit different. The video needs updating, but let me assure you the process remains the same. Okay. Now, for additional help, you may want to consider reaching out to our chat agent. Okay. So the first line is going to be the support AI. Okay. So click the chat widget and then click ask a question and then start new session. And then from here, you can ask away the AI any question that you have, or you can type live agent or just agent, maybe human, whichever you prefer, and it's gonna transfer you to an actual live chat support agent. And from there, you can ask them any questions that you have, or if need be, you can also schedule a one-on-one Zoom call with them for 15 minutes. Okay? And I just need to inform them that I'm doing a quick demo. There you go. All right, now on to your contacts. Okay, so after importing your list here, after having it skip traced, you have their phone number, their names, their address, the email address. The fastest campaign that you can do, okay, even without buying a phone number first, is your cold calling campaign. Okay, so let me explain. So if you click the dialer right over here, okay, it's going to give you 2 options to choose from. Okay, first option is to use your existing phone number, meaning you can use your personal phone number if need be. Okay. However, it cannot be used, for inbound calls. Okay. It can be only used for outbound. and you cannot use it for texting. Okay. However, like I said, you can do your outreach, your cold calling outreach without buying a phone number first, or you can use your personal phone number for your outbound. Okay. Now, the second option is to buy a phone number directly from your CRM, which you can use for outbound. It can receive inbound, and you can send text messages using that phone number as well. Okay. Now, onwards to your first campaign. That's going to be your power dialing. Okay. If you do have a phone number, this is what your dialer would look like, the numpad. Okay. You'll see the numpad right here. You can dial from here, okay, manually, or call your contacts from here as well. Okay. It's a single line manual dialer. Okay. However, it is completely integrated into your CRM, meaning you can attach an automation to it. Okay. To be more specific, it's the power dialer automation. Okay. Now, in order for us to automate our dialing, we will need to tag our contacts with the power dialer tag. And this is how you tag them. So first, we will need to select our contacts. So it's going to be the box right beside the contact names right over here. That's the box. Click this. So I have selected 100 names of my list. That's just the first page, all right? And you can also change the number of contacts per page, either 20, 50, or 100. Mine is set at 100. So let's say you want to call all your contacts. It can be done as well. You will just need to click here, select all. Okay, I'm going to skip trigger automation. I'm going to go directly to add tags. And from here, I will need to add my add an action name. So it's going to be power dialer. Okay, and then I'm going to need to search for the tag. I can just type power dialer. There you go. And then I'm going to click add tags. Okay. Afterwards, in order for us to complete our power dialing, we will need to go here in our conversations. And from here, next step is to click on manual actions. Okay. And from here, all the names on my contacts list that has the power dialer tag will show up here. And the next step for me to take is to click Let's Start. The automation will kick in. It's going to call your contacts one by one until you pause the automation, or the automation goes through all the names on your list. Okay, that's how you power dial. Okay, it's going to be automated, but again, it's still a single line dialer. Okay, all right. So we're going to go back to your contacts real quick and talk about the other dialer that's inside of your CRM, and that's going to be the wave dialer. Okay. Now, the wave dialer, it's also integrated into your CRM, which is Go High Level. Okay. Now, in order for you to use the wave, you will need to subscribe to the wave. So they have plans for you to choose from. Okay. 3 plans: preview line, single line, and multi-line. You can also do monthly, quarterly, or annually. All right. Now, the preview line and single line, it is almost the same as your CRM's dialer. Okay. However, the multi-line dialer sets it apart from the dialer inside of your CRM because it can call 3 numbers at a time, and you can average at least 150 calls an hour doing that one. Okay. Now, this is not the only feature that the Wave can offer to you. They also have real-time spam protection, in which, if in case one of your phone numbers gets tagged or flagged as spam, right, you don't need to take any action. The Wave will do it for you. Okay, they will try and take away that spam tagging and make your phone number fresh again. Okay, or whitelist the phone number. And also, if you need additional information regarding the Wave, they do have their own support system, which is available from Monday to Friday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. That's going to be MST, Mountain Standard Time. And if need be, you can schedule a Zoom call with them if need be. Okay, that's going to be for 10 minutes. Okay. All right. So that's going to be the wave dialer for you. Now we're going to go back to CRM. Next is where and how to get a phone number. So we will need to go to your settings. Settings right there. And then from your settings, it's going to be phone system. All right, waiting on it. All right. Next stop is going to be add number. All right, and then we're going to be selecting, oh, the wave opened. We're going to be selecting add phone number used for SMS and calls. We're going to click that one. And from here, you will be given random phone numbers to choose from. You have one from Oklahoma, Minnesota, okay, and also toll-free numbers right over here. Please be advised that the pricing of the phone numbers may be different or may vary on your end, okay? Now, if I am looking for a different phone number with a different area code and it's not listed here, I can try and search for it by clicking filter. And then I'm going to go here in the middle. I'm going to put the area code of the phone number that I am looking for. All right. It's going to be 313. It's a Detroit area code. And then I'm going to go here, match to. Okay. And then I'm going to click first part of number. And then I'm going to click apply. And there you go. I'm going to be selecting the first one as an example. I'm going to go ahead and proceed to buy. And from here, next comes persona verification. Okay. Uh, it's like a KYC. Okay. Or in other words, it's an added verification in order for us to confirm that you're actually the one that's buying the phone number. Okay. So I'm going to click begin verifying. Next is what country is your government ID from. Click the drop down and select the country that you're from. But for this example, I will be selecting the United States. And from here, these are the types of IDs you can use for verification. Any one of them will do. For this example, I will be selecting driver's license. And next is we will need to take a vivid photo of our valid ID. We have two options to do it. First option, okay, is to click the blue button here. Okay, in which if we are using a laptop, it will use our laptop's camera. Or if we are using a PC, it may use our PC's webcam. Okay. The other type or thing or option is going to be continue on another device. And from here, okay, using our phone, we just need to scan the QR code. And from there, no need to download any apps. After scanning the QR code, we can then now use our phone to take a photo of our valid ID. I actually prefer that one. Phones does have much more clear cameras than our laptops or webcam. Okay. Now the persona verification, it's a one-time thing. You don't need to do it again. If you have passed this before, you can get as many phone numbers as you want for your cold calling campaign. Okay. Now let's say we were able to get a phone number. Okay. So what is next? Okay. Typically the next one we need to go the next step is to reduce spam tagging. We're going to go and, on a side note, I'm going to, show you how to configure your phone number. Okay, so go to the three dots and then edit configuration. And from here, you can turn on call recording, which you can view and listen to over at your conversations. Okay, same place where manual action is. Okay, also, you can set up call forwarding here. On the external phone number tab, you can put your phone number here or whichever phone number you prefer. And if in case someone calls the number that you purchased, it will be automatically redirected to the number that we will be putting here. Okay. And you will need to do this for each phone number that you have. All right. And that is how you configure the phone number. Next is voice settings. It's right over here. Okay. So from here, call recording, you can actually turn on to, automatically delete older recordings. Okay. As you can see here, you can put the number of days. Okay. After 90 days, older recordings, no longer than 90 days will be automatically deleted. Okay. Now call transcription. Okay. I don't, no one's really using this that much. Next is voicemail and missed call text back. Incoming call timeout. Preferably it needs to be around 20 seconds. Okay. Voicemail audio, you can upload any audio file that you have in your possession, okay, for your voicemail, and then save call settings right over here. Now for the missed call text back, if someone calls you and you were not able to pick the phone up, it will automatically shoot out a text. Okay. You can also customize it if need be. Or if you don't want this, just uncheck the box. And if you miss a phone call, no text is going to be shooting out. Okay. Call scripts, it's not being used that often. Dispositions, okay. For every phone call that you'll be doing, after every phone call, it will ask you for a status, either no answer, voicemail, follow-up, appointment, not interested, incorrect number, in which there is also automations attached to each disposition. And you can learn more by clicking here. Okay. All right. Next, the VoIP desk phone. If you have a Teams working for you, you can use this one. Okay. VoIP means voice over internet protocol. It basically is a soft phone. Okay. Now, other settings. Okay. Inbound phone calls are forwarded directly to the business phone number. Okay. In case forwarding number and assigned phone number is not configured, and which we did that earlier. Okay. Ring user assigned to called number. If you have multiple VAs working for you and they have multiple numbers assigned to them, okay, whenever they make an outbound phone call, right, they will be using the number that is assigned to them. And depending on who gets a call back, okay, that will ring to the phone number that was assigned to the user. Okay. Now for outbound phone calls, it's actually on this setting right over here. Prefer default number. Okay. The number that is set as default will always be the one that's going to be making the outbound phone call. All right, unless you change the setting here. Okay. If you click this one, prefer phone number assigned to user. Okay, like I said, if you have multiple users on your account and they have multiple phone numbers, or they have a specific phone number assigned to them, if they make a phone call, the specific number assigned to them will be the one that's going to be making that phone call. Okay, the outbound, of course. Now, for the third option is local presence dialing. All right. If you are marketing to multiple states, then this is the required setting for you. Now, so let's say you are from California and you are calling someone from Kansas and you have a Kansas phone number. If you make a phone call, an outbound phone call to Kansas, the system will automatically select your Kansas phone number and use it as your outbound number. Okay, so that is local presence dialing. All right, so this is your voice settings. Next is where and how to reduce spam tagging or spam flagging on your phone numbers. All right, it can be found inside of your trust center. All right, and it's going to be shake it and stir. Okay, that's the first one. Okay, and then CNAM, and then voice integrity. Okay, and that's going to be the order of how you register to reduce spam tagging on your phone numbers. Let me tell you why. So first is shake it and stir. It's not a drink, it's a voice service. And yes, it's free. Okay. So how does shake it and stir work? Okay. Shake it and stir is a free registration that can help you, possibly increase your call completion and call answer rates by verifying your ownership of the phone number. Okay. Also, shake and stir is a protocol that authenticates that that the caller is who they say they are. Okay, in some cases, whenever you're making an outbound phone call, it may display a trusted call label. It can also help prevent your caller ID from getting spoofed or possibly getting tagged as fraud, spam, and scam. All right. And the mandatory requirement for shake and stir is that you have an employer identification number or EIN. All right. You cannot use a sole proprietor EIN for shake and stir. It needs an EIN that is attached to an LLC. All right. And let me show you the registration details for it. Okay. You will just need to fill out one thing, and that is going to be the friendly name on which LLC or business name is the phone number is going to be attached to. Okay. Again, it's going to be your business name. That is going to be the friendly name. Okay. And if you, let's say you bought a phone number, let's say you bought a single phone number and you applied for Shake and Stir and you got approved, and suddenly you got the urge to buy additional phone numbers. Okay. The phone numbers that you bought after after being approved for Shake and Stir will be automatically added to your Shake and Stir registration. Okay. All right. So that is Shaken and Stir. Next is CNAM. Although it's not heavily mandatory, it is highly recommended. Okay. Because of the fact that it can make your business phone calls look more professional, look more legitimate. So CNAM means caller name. And what it can do is it can replace your outbound caller ID with your business name. All right. It's also a free service. Okay. And it has limitations. First limitation is carrier limitations. Not all carriers can support enhanced call branding. Okay. Second limitation is device limitations. Okay. Older or certain types of devices cannot or does not support enhanced call branding. Reverting. Okay. It's going to revert to the original caller ID, which is your phone number. Okay. And also the other limitation for CNAM is it can only accept 15 characters. So if your business name is quite hefty long, I mean, that is more than 15 characters over there. Okay, so it cannot accept that. So you have the option to use your name, okay, or use a DBA, okay, which is if it's exactly 15 characters, it can be used. Again, if it's more than 15 characters, it cannot be used. Okay, and please be advised that symbols and spaces counts as a character. Okay, so that is CNAM again, and also it's going to require that you have an EIN. Okay, for CNAM. All right. Lastly is voice integrity. Okay, and the reason why voice integrity is last is because you will need your shake and stir to be approved. If not, you will not be able to register for voice integrity. Even if you can register for voice integrity and your shake and stir is not approved or you haven't applied to it, it will be automatically rejected. Okay, voice integrity. All right, so what is voice integrity? Okay, voice integrity is also a free feature that helps you protect your business phone calls from being flagged as spam. Okay, by registering your US-based phone numbers with top caller ID analytics, just like First Orion, Aya, and TNS. Okay, they will, just like Shake and Stir, all right, they will attach your phone number to your business. All right, in that way, it will be whitelisted. Okay, meaning it's coming from a legitimate source. Okay, in which you can improve your pickup rates, possibly, and reinforce rather your brand's trustworthiness. Okay, now for the registration form for voice integrity goes as follow. It's going to ask you for use case, where and how are you going to be using the phone numbers. Okay, you can either choose phone system, appointment reminder, appointment setting, or outbound dialer. Okay, next is how many employees do you have under your LLC. Okay, next is your call volume. How many phone calls will you be doing per week? All right, that is your voice integrity registration form. Okay, now there are other services outside of your CRM that can possibly reduce spam tagging on your phone numbers. Okay, mainly free caller registry. As the name suggests, it is a free service. Okay, it is also brought to us by First Orion, Haya, and TNS. Okay, so the same ones that is managing your voice integrity. So, what is free caller registry? Okay, as you can see here, if you are making outbound phone calls, free caller registry, okay, enables you to submit your phone number's information to all major US wireless and wireline carriers for free through one centralized portal. And that portal is this website. Okay, and please be advised that while registration or while being registered to free caller registry, it does not guarantee that your calls will never be blocked or labeled as spam, scam, or fraud. Okay, it will, however, establish that your phone numbers belong to a legitimate business or source. Okay, and not someone with bad or fraudulent intentions. Okay, now all the to register for free caller registry, you will just need to put your email address here, either your personal or your business email to get started. To get the verification code, you're going to need to fill up some forms. After that, you can register up to 20 phone numbers. That is the maximum, 20. And if in case one of your phone numbers does get tagged as spam, you will need to re-register all of them again, okay, to free caller registry. And registration time frame for free caller registry, it takes around 4 weeks. Okay, they do take lots of requests per day. So yes, it takes them up that long. So on the interim, while you are waiting, you can still register your phone number directly to First Orion. Okay, so First Orion, the service that they have is just like free caller registry. We are just um, doubling up our chances. So it's going to ask you for the same thing, your business name, your business industry, which is obviously going to be real estate, your business website, business phone number, and business physical address. Okay. And in order for you to register here, you will need to create a new account, then provide your business information and opt in, and then add your business phone numbers for verification. Okay. And it will take 24 to 48 hours for them to fully verify that the phone numbers belong to you. Okay. And also, this is not the only service or feature that First Orion can offer to you. They also have Inform branded calling. Okay, Inform branded calling is the same as CNAM. The only difference there is CNAM is a free service. Okay, Inform's branded calling is a paid service. As you can see here from the description, 9 in 10 people say that they don't answer calls from numbers they don't recognize. That is a fact. Okay. All right. And unlike CNAM, they can take your whole business name here. Okay. They don't just take 15 characters. They can take more. Okay. And like I said, it's a paid service, and it will be up to you if you want to avail of the service. Again, this is truly and fully optional. Okay. Now, next is a firm number monitoring here. Okay, this is also a service from First Orion in which you can monitor your phone number's health to see if it's being tagged or labeled as spam. Right, and from there you can decide to just take take out the phone number and get a new one. Right, if you register here, right, right here. If you register here, you will be given a separate dashboard in which you can monitor your phone number's health. And like I said, if in case it gets tagged or labeled as spam, it will be up to you, or they will provide you with the next steps to take. All right. So again, this is from First Orion. Next is from Haya. Okay. Haya also has a CNAM-like service, which is also a paid service. Okay. And again, like I said, branded calling does have its limitations. As you can see here, if you make 250 phone calls, 165 of them will be branded. Okay. Basically, not all of them will be branded, but more than 50% is better than, not being branded at all. Again, this is fully optional. Okay. Now, Haya does have, a number registration service that you can, also avail. And this is also a free service. Okay. Same with First Orion. And if you register your phone numbers here, you can reduce the risk of your calls being labeled spam. Okay. Meaning once you register your phone numbers here, carriers will know that the phone numbers belong to a legitimate business. Okay. And it is a free registration. As you can see here, create your free account, upload your business phone numbers, and then see and improve your caller reputation. All right. And a phone number verification here will take at least 24 to 48 hours too. So while you are waiting for your free caller registry approval, you can register your phone numbers here and to First Orion in the interim. Okay. Now, lastly, is from TNS. Okay. TNS means Transaction Network Services. Okay. They also have a service known as Enterprise Branded Calling, which is also similar to CNAM, but again, this is a paid service. Okay. Now, that's not the only service that they can offer to you. They also have a branding and call authentication suite, which has spoof protection, telephone number repetition monitoring, and enterprise branded calling rolled up into one. Okay, again, this is from TNS. Okay, and also word of advice, you do not need to be A2P approved. Okay, first, you don't need to be A2P approved first in order for you to go through all of this. A2P is strictly for texting. All right. This is a process of which we are trying to reduce the chances of our phone numbers being labeled or tagged as spam. Okay. Now going back, speaking of A2P, the fastest way for you to get A2P approved, okay, is through our live chat. Okay. Our live chat agent over here. Okay. Just, open the chat widget, ask a question, request for a live agent. And when you are chatting with a live agent, just tell them that you will need help with your A2P. Okay, in which they can also provide an A2P compliant website for you. However, that website cannot be used for public consumption or marketing purposes. All right, the sole purpose of that website is just for A2P compliance. If you want a website that you can market to your customers, you may need to create one of your own. Okay. They will also help. They will also help you fill out the forms, your A2P forms for you, and then they will submit your A2P submission on your behalf. And if in case it gets rejected, they will make adjustments. They will try and resubmit again and again and again until you get A2P approved. Okay. Right now, next is what to do after getting A2P approved. So first things first, you will need to take a look at your messaging settings here. So click this. First off is going to be your messaging compliance. Okay. The very first text that you will be sending out to your contacts will always have an opt-out message. All right. The opt-out message, the most commonly used opt-out message, is reply stop to unsubscribe. All right. And if they reply stop to your message, okay, they will be put to DND, meaning you can no longer text your that contact, but you can still call them. Okay. And after being put to DND, it's going to count towards your opt-out rate. Okay. Now your opt-out rate is 2%. That is the ceiling. Okay. That's the farthest that you can do, that you can go. Okay. So if you are getting 2% or more on a daily basis, let's say 2 days, maybe three, on the fourth day, your account will be suspended for 24 hours. It will be restricted from texting. Okay. However, we can lift that suspension so you can, go and start your texting campaign again. However, if your opt-out rate is still the same, still high, okay, your account may get suspended again, okay, for the second time. Okay, the second suspension is again, it's also 24 hours. All right, we can still lift that suspension. Okay, so you can, start your texting again. However, if you are still having high opt-out rates after the second suspension, right? The third suspension, that's going to be a level 3 suspension, and it's going to lead towards a semi-permanent suspension that will last up to 7 weeks. Okay. And if you do get, suspended for the third time, you will not be able to send out text messages. You will not be able to make outbound phone calls, and you will need to file an appeal, okay, to have your account unsuspended. Okay. So if you want to go around that, first is you can try to send as many text messages as you can. Okay, max out your limit, preferably around 3,000. So what's 2% of 3,000? Okay, so that's what you need to reach. Okay, possibly 4,000. All right. The other thing, or the other way to go around your opt-out rate, is to change your opt-out message along with your opt-out keyword. Okay. So you click customize here. Okay. Delete the word stop and replace it with something else. In my case, this is just an example. Reply magic to and the gathering. Okay. This is an example. You don't need to copy it. But, okay, if they do reply if they do reply to your text using the word magic, okay, this will not add to your opt-out rate, and they will not be put to DND. Okay. Now, if you're going to ask, is my message still compliant? The answer is yes. I still have an opt-out keyword here in my opt-out message. So you can see here, END is an opt-out keyword, meaning my message is still compliant. Okay, again, it will be up to you on how you will customize your opt-out message. Okay, just make sure you're not using, a keyword or any word that is closely related to an opt-out keyword, like stop, all cancel, just, don't use pause, all right? Or any words that's, closely related to any of the keywords there, okay? Now, to make your message more compliant is to add a sender information, either your first name or your last name or both, or you can try putting your business name here, okay, to make your message more compliant. All right. Speaking of compliance, again, if you want to check if your message is really compliant, you can try and use this website. The website's name is called revtext.io. It's an SMS compliance checker. Okay. So all that you will need to do is put your message here. Target country is going to be USA. Opt-in consent status, of course, yes. Promotional content, of course, yes. Check that again. And then on the business type industry, it's going to be real estate, and then click check compliance. Okay. Possible passing score is 80%. If you are getting around 79 or maybe less, okay, you will need to rearrange that text message. Okay. All right. If you're getting around a score of 90, that means your message is good to go. Okay. Again, this is an SMS compliance checker. Now, next one is your messaging limits. Okay. So all accounts will start at 500 messages per day, right? If in which in order for you to level up, you will need to send 500 messages exactly within 24 hours. And if you do level up, okay, your SMS limit will increase. Okay. However, while your account is leveling up, you will not be able to send out bulk messages for 24 hours. Okay. It's like a fail safe. Okay. So even if your account is, it's telling you 750, okay. While the account is not yet fully leveled up, your limit is still 500. That is why you cannot send bulk messages. You can still, though, send individual messages, you know, just not in bulk. Okay. Now, if you want to skip the ramp, you do have the option to send an email to support@xleads.com and tell them that you want your SMS limit to be increased. You can, let's say you want 1,500 messages per day, can be done. We can update that on our end. Again, just send an email to support@xleads.com and we will do the rest on our end. All right, just a quick reminder, if we do update your limit for you, it may stay that way and your account will no longer level up. And in that case, you will need to send another email to have your limit increased again. Okay. All right. Now, next is your messaging analytics. Okay. So this is where you will find how many text messages was sent, how many was delivered and opened, how many failed or how many errors you got, how many you received, and of course your opt-out rate. Okay. So for the failed rate, okay, your threshold is around 10%. Okay, it's actually much more manageable. Okay. Uh, one of the things that you can do here is, separate the landlines from the mobile phones before you import your list into your CRM. Okay. And my friend Luis, he does have a guide on how to do it. Okay. Now, your messaging analytics, okay, it is what it is. It's just for statistics, nothing more. If you want to know, if in case your account got suspended, if you want to know why you were suspended, that is going to be here in your restriction history, nowhere else. Okay. You can see here, you can see the warnings, why you got a warning. Okay. And the percentage rate. Okay. So the warning was because of the error rate and the threshold for your error rate is just 17%, or no, 10% rather. And he was getting, more than 10%. Okay, so after the warning, next comes the suspension. Okay, in which case his error rate was a whopping 20%. Okay, opt-out rate is perfect, 0. Okay, again, we can lift the first and second suspension so that you can start texting again. However, if you are still getting same results, let's say your error rate is still the same, it did not change, or it got worse, okay, you will be suspended again. And since this is only for, the second suspension, okay, there is no semi-permanent suspension yet, since he was able to make adjustments after the second suspension. Okay, all right. Now, well, that concludes my presentation. Thank you very much, and I appreciate your patience Thank you for sticking with us. And now we can move on to our Q&A section of the presentation, which will be headed by Jen. Hey, Jen.
Hey, Echo, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Thank you so much for that great presentation. All right. So, everyone, please raise your hand if you have any questions, okay? So we can go over it one by one. But please be reminded that for today, we will be uh ending at exactly 1 p.m., okay? We will resume this we will resume at Reds or in Reds real estate deal school. Okay, so we will have our support call there. Okay, at exactly 2 p.m. Eastern Time. Okay, but for now, please raise your hand if you have any questions or clarification so we can go over it. Okay, so first it's Ben. Hi, Ben. How can we help you? Ben, you are on mute, sir.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you
Okay,
now. How can I help you?
thank you. Yeah, my question is, how do we skip trace our own list that we upload into XLeads?
That's a good question. I believe Luis showed that earlier, but Luis, do you have a video or a long video which you can send in the chat for Ben's reference and for others' reference? Luis?
Um, yeah, I do. It's on the knowledge base website, but I can actually just quickly show it to you.
Great.
Just a quick demonstration. So once we have uploaded our lists, so for example, we import a list here. Just a quick demonstration once again. Um, those properties that XLeads found from the list will appear as a search results. Now from here, you can either click on list or show properties. But I think the rule of the thumb is that we have to add the properties into the list just like this for us to be able to export their skip trace data. So we have two different export options. There is export and export to context tab. And for the guide on using both of them, I'll send a video, short loom videos on our chat. Okay, I'll send it right now.
All
All right.
right. Thank you so much, Luis. I hope that answered your questions, Ben. Do you have any other question or concern, clarification?
Just one other thing that I wanted to ask about
Sure.
the for the texting and the A2P. Do you guys
Mhm.
recommend that we set up a completely separate LLC or entity for this since it requires an EIN number?
Yes, we actually suggest that because it would be better if you have an LLC or separate LLC for your wholesaling business in XLead CRM.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thanks, Ben. And next is Maria. Hi, Maria. How can I help you, ma'am?
Hi, I have a question. I have, the GHL membership, but I was wondering, with regards to that, you do have also GHL in your program, but is that purely for real estate, or is it possible as well if I have, some online business or other businesses that you can also use this GHL, or is this a
Yes.
simplified version that specifically is for real estate?
Yes. You can use your XLead subscription for your other business. Or let's say, for example, you have two business and one is wholesaling and the other one is for other industry or other business that you have. So yes, you can use the Excellent CRM strictly for or primarily for your wholesaling business. And then you can create one for or a sub account for your other business. Okay. But you need to set it up or build that sub account designed for your um in line with your uh specifically needs of your other business, like workflows, pipelines, and automations. But those other workflows, pipelines, automations, you can add it or build it in your XLead CRM, though, if it's just a simple setup that you need for your other business.
Okay,
So
like,
that's your
if
option.
you, yeah, so if you have online business, so it is possible that this is not just a limited GHL, it's uh, everything that GHL has as well.
Yes, that's right, ma'am.
Okay, all right. That sounds great. Now, if I have, because at this moment I do have the
Mm-hmm.
GHL, and that still is, for it's a monthly payment. Um, would there be some kind of, I don't know how that would be with transitioning?
Yes, you can actually for we actually we actually don't advise to transfer all your um I mean all your assets, okay, from
Hmm.
your other GHL business, because it's not 100% sure that everything will be transferred, especially if you're already A2P verified there in your other GHL. Okay. But other assets, you can transfer that to your Excellent CRM, like your contacts, other automation or other pipelines that you currently have from your other GHL.
Hmm. Okay. The one thing is that I'm wondering with regards to having the zip only one zip, um, and that is included. So any zips you just have to pay extra. Also with the Skype drive, because that's the thing. If you have more zip codes in one city, um,
That's correct. Yeah. So, for that one, Maria, yeah, I believe I presented like two options. So it's either we can upgrade to the next plan or to, subscribe to either state or nationwide. However, I
mhm,
just also want to let you know, I think I did not um mention it during my presentation, is that you'll be able to reset your redeemed AI zip once a month. Um, Now, for example, if you need another zip code for the next month, you can actually do so, but you would have to email us at support@xdeeds.com and a request for your AI credit to be reset.
okay, and it is 60,000 downloads that you can do.
It depends on the plan. So if we have the basic plan, it's 25,000, 40,000 for the Pro, and then 60,000 for the X plan.
Okay, all right. Well, thank you for the info. I appreciate it.
You're
Mhm.
very welcome, Maria.
You're welcome, Maria. Do you have any other questions or clarification?
Not at the moment, thanks.
Okay. You're welcome. All right. Anyone else has questions, guys? Before we end the call, we still have a few more minutes. Shane. Hi, Shane. How can we help you, ma'am?
Yeah. I just
Oh,
signed
there.
up.
Sorry. Mhm. Yeah.
Say it again. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
How can I help you, sir?
Yeah, I just signed up.
Mm-hmm.
And I have a sole proprietorship, but not an LLC. But I
Mm-hmm.
do have an EIN. Does that still qualify?
Yes, you can still submit for E2P, but you can only purchase one phone number in your XLead CRM. You cannot purchase multiple phone numbers.
Okay. And would I mean, I just have the basic plan. So does that just come with the basic plan? Just one
Ah,
number or,
yes. In any plans, you can purchase multiple phone numbers, but that's only for those business that has EAN or LLC. But if you're just a sole proprietor, you can
Right.
only purchase one phone number in your account.
No, no, no.
Okay.
Sorry.
Or
Yeah, sorry.
I'll go ahead, Echo, if you have
Yeah,
additional.
what Jen was trying to say is you can get as many phone numbers as you want, but you can only use one
Yes.
of the phone numbers for texting.
Oh, there. Yes.
Oh,
For
Yeah,
okay.
texting.
for
Thanks,
Sopra.
Echo.
Yeah.
Okay.
For Sopra.
Also, with the free call registry and the other call registries that you suggested, that's just so that your number doesn't get flagged. And we would need to sign up for that anyways, but I guess trying to understand that.
Oh, yeah.
Um,
For
Or
that
is that
one,
like
you
a
will.
side thing outside of XLeads that we could do?
Yes, you can do that. However, it will require that you have an LLC.
correct. And that's right.
Okay. But otherwise, do we get a number with XLeads anyway, and we don't need to do this?
That is right.
Okay. And is that number safe through XLeads, or do we have to go through free call registry?
Well, sir, the fastest way for you to check is to call someone you know using the phone
Yeah,
number that you purchased. Yes, and then ask them, is my phone number coming out as spam on your end? Something like that.
right. Yeah.
Hmm.
On my XLeads account, you're saying?
Yes, sir. At least
Okay.
more than
Yes.
one person.
Okay, yeah. Yeah. Thank you.
All right. Do you have any other question or clarification, Shane?
I mean, I'm just getting started, so I'm just figuring things out right now.
I see. Well, this
Yeah,
onboarding, this is a daily onboarding, so you can always join here every day if you want to. So this is from Monday to Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern time. Okay.
yeah. Thank you.
Okay. You're welcome. Okay. Anyone? Anyone else has questions? All right, I guess we're all good. That's all for today's session. So, guys, thank you so much for attending today's onboarding session. Again, we will have this onboarding session tomorrow. So, this is from Monday to Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Time. Okay. And again, we will have a support call today. If you are in red, so or real estate deal school, we will have our support call there live at 2 p.m. Eastern time, okay? That only happens every Wednesday, okay? So we'll see you there. We will continue our session or answer all your questions that you have, okay? Thank you everyone and have a good day. Bye-bye.
Bye,
Bye,
everyone.
everyone.
See
Bye-bye.
you later at school.
See you later.